Hey everyone, welcome back to Manna with Brianna. Today I'm starting a 3-part series sharing my salvation story, the journey that led me from darkness and confusion to truly knowing God. This is part 1 where I'll take you back to the beginning, to a time where I felt completely lost. I didn't realize it then, but even in my lowest moments, God was already speaking to me. I just wasn't paying attention. If you've ever struggled with the feeling of being lost or like your life is meaningless, I want you to know that God is always near, even if we don't see it. I encourage you to stick around to the end, and if anything resonates with you, please share your thoughts in the comments. I love to hear your story. So let's get started. My life before Christ, I was lost. I was extremely lost. I grew up knowing about God. I even got saved at age 9. But the truth is, I didn't really have a personal relationship with him. I believed in him, and he just wasn't the center of my life. I started feeling anxious, unfulfilled, and constantly worried about the future. I didn't know what my purpose was, and I just felt like I was drifting through life just waiting on something to give me meaning. On the outside, everything looked good, but on the inside, I was struggling. I was really struggling. Then at 18 years old, everything changed. My uncle, one of the most important men in my life, passed away, and I was still trying to process that loss when just 10 days later, my father passed away suddenly. It felt unreal, both of them gone within days of each other. I had no time to grieve one without being hit with the next one. And my father and my uncle were my protectors, my role models, my safe place. And I just felt that, wow, now they're both gone. And I just remember thinking to myself, how is this happening? Like, it's kind of like, where is God now? I just felt alone, and I just felt lost. My father's death didn't just shake me emotionally, but it left me feeling completely lost and disconnected from life. And at the time, I had just started college, but after everything that happened, I couldn't focus, and I just went into survival mode. I told myself to just keep going, do what you have to do, but deep down inside, everything in me was just shutting down. So from 18 to 24, I was just existing, not living. And I lost all my motivation. I dropped out of college, started dealing with feelings of anxiety and depression. Then the suicidal thoughts came along. I just felt like nothing really mattered. There would be nights I would just lay in bed, just staring at the ceiling and just watching that fan just spin just for hours. I just felt like life was just, this is it, just going through the motions. But have you ever felt that way, like you're just drifting through life, not really sure where you're going, what you're doing? That's exactly where I was. That's exactly where I was. But even in my darkest moments, God was still trying to get my attention. I just didn't realize it yet because I had so much going on around me. So the first sign that God gave me, it was the number 11. I started seeing that number everywhere. And at first, I didn't think much of it, but it kept happening like over and over and over. I mean, I would wake up, it would be 11:11. I would sit on receipt totals, on billboards, on license plates, just everywhere. And I brushed it off thinking it was a weird coincidence. But then it just started to feel weird. It started to get real unsettling, like something's going on, like something or someone's trying to get my attention. Like, what is this? So then something crazy happened. I started seeing Jeremiah 29:11 everywhere. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and future. It kept appearing on social media, in random conversations, even on TV. I didn't realize it at the time, but God was speaking to me. I wasn't seeking him, so I didn't pick up on it at the time. So I now understand that God had never abandoned me like I thought he did, that he was calling me the whole time. I just wasn't listening. I just couldn't understand it. So I thought, what if God had been speaking to me all along, but I just didn't recognize his voice? Like from age 9 to up to 18, what if he was speaking to me? I just didn't know. So that moment set me on the path to really trying to seek God and getting ready to know Christ. But I still had so much to learn. I still had many struggles to overcome. And I still had one powerful moment the moment when I would hear God's audible voice for the first time. In part 2, I'm going to share what happened next. I finally start to seek God intentionally, and He completely transformed my life. So if you've ever felt like God was trying to get your attention, or if you've been through a season where it's like you don't think God is listening to you, I encourage you to stick around for part 2. Before we go, I want to hear from you. I want you to know that God is here, God is speaking, and He hasn't forgot about you. If you have a story, I would like for you to share it in the comments. And if this video spoke to you any kind of way, like, share, and subscribe so we continue growing together. I'll leave you with Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in part 2.